Susan was startled, nearly dropping the wooden spoon in her hand. Her wide eyes snapped at the door. "Oh, you're back," she said, her voice a mixture of surprise and uncertainty. Ethan stepped into the room, his presence filling the space like a cold draft. His gaze swept over her briefly before landing on the dining table. Without a word, he moved toward the platter of colorful puddings. Susan opened her mouth to say something, but stopped herself as Ethan picked up a spoon. He scooped a piece of pudding into his mouth, chewing slowly. His expression remained unreadable, offering no hint of whether he approved or not. "That's mine," she thought, her stomach twisting. It wasn't meant for him. But the words stayed stuck in her throat. Finally, Ethan set the spoon down, his tone flat as he said, "The pudding you made. It's quite good." Susan blinked, caught off guard. Her irritation warred with an unwilling sense of pride. Forcing a smile, she replied, "I'm glad you like it. I made it especially for you." Ethan glanced at her, his expression disinterested. "Just focus on cooking," he said, turning his attention elsewhere. Susan turned back to the stove, the faintest edge of sarcasm slipping into her voice. I know. I just couldn't help myself." Ethan lingered for a moment, then bent down to pick up Fudge, who purred in contentment. Stroking the cat absent-mindedly, he asked, "What did she eat tonight?" "Salmon balls," Susan replied, her voice sharper than intended. "I added carrots since she doesn't like vegetables. She ate all 6. Ethan nodded, his approval almost imperceptible. "Good." Susan busied herself setting the table, her hands moving with meticulous care. Tonight's dinner, a Caesar salad, was humble yet thoughtfully prepared. Crisp lettuce, perfectly boiled eggs, and buttery croutons adorned the dish, each element arranged with precision. As Ethan took his seat, Susan hesitated nearly. "It's better to keep dinner light," she offered, her voice softer now. "Heavy meals at night aren't good for the stomach." Ethan raised an eyebrow, pausing mid-bite. "You're quite health-conscious for someone your age." A faint smile touched her lips. "My dad had stomach issues. Business dinners, constant drinking. They took a toll on him. I learned a few things to help." Something flickered in Ethan's eyes, gone as quickly as it appeared. He didn't respond, instead picking up his fork again. The salad was fresh, the flavors clean and balanced. By the time he finished, his plate was empty. "That was good," he said simply, leaning back in his chair. Susan's heart lifted slightly. "Thank you," she replied, her voice tinged with quiet pride. For a moment, she lingered, gathering her courage before speaking again. "I've always wanted to take care of someone. Cooking a meal after a long day, it's what I hope to do for someone special." Finally, he looked up, his expression as neutral as ever. "What are you standing there for?" he said, his tone curt. "Go do the dishes." Her eyes widened, then narrowed slightly as she bit back a retort. "Right," she muttered, gathering the plates and heading to the kitchen. As she washed up, she grumbled under her breath about his coldness, wondering how someone so indifferent could evoke such strong reactions in her. Ethan stood away from the table and made his way to the living room. His gaze landed on a book resting on the couch, its title catching his eye. Healthy Recipes for Women. He frowned, flipping through the pages casually. His brows furrowed when he saw a familiar recipe, the same one used for the pudding he had eaten earlier. His jaw tightened, the realization dawning with slow, measured clarity. When Susan came out of the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel, she froze as she saw the book in his hands. "I bought it today," she explained quickly. "The supermarket owner recommended it." Ethan raised the book, opened the pudding recipe. His eyes met hers, sharp and unyielding. "So this is the pudding you purposely made for me." Susan hesitated, her mouth opening and closing as she scrambled for a response. "It's just pudding," she finally said, her voice small. "You liked it." Ethan snapped the book shut, his expression dark. "Don't let it happen again," he said coldly, turning on his heel and heading to his study. As the door clicked shut behind Ethan, Susan exhaled slowly, letting her shoulders sag. "It's just pudding," she muttered to herself, shaking her head. Why is he so dramatic? She picked up the empty platter, her irritation bubbling beneath the surface. Next time, I'll hide that cookbook better. In his study, Ethan sat at his desk, his jaw tight as he scrolled through his phone. He paused, his fingers hovering over the screen, before pressing the call button. "Felix," he said curtly when his assistant answered. "I want bland food delivered to the house. Nothing but steamed vegetables and unseasoned protein. Make sure it arrives within the hour." Felix hesitated for a moment, but knew better than to ask questions. "Understood, sir." An hour later, Susan, still in the dining area, stared at the array of bland dishes laid out before her. The colorless food looked like a punishment served on porcelain. Ethan walked in, his presence commanding as always. "Sit," he ordered, gesturing to the chair across from him. Susan raised an eyebrow, her defiance flickering briefly before she complied. "You want me to eat this?" she asked, pointing at the plain, lifeless spread. He leaned against the table, his expression cool and unyielding. "You made me eat your pudding. Now, you eat this." She opened her mouth to retort, but saw no trace of humor or leniency in his eyes. Resigned, she picked up a fork and speared a piece of steamed broccoli. The texture was limp, the taste utterly uninspiring. "Happy?" she asked after swallowing the first bite, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Not until you finish everything," he replied, his tone as sharp as ever. Hours later, Susan sat on her bed, the bland taste still lingering on her tongue. Disgusted, she swished water around her mouth for the third time, but the memory of the meal clung stubbornly. Sleep eluded her, and her stomach churned with both hunger and frustration. "I'll make him pay," she whispered to herself, her eyes narrowing. "I'll make that cold-hearted scumbag fall for me, and then I'll trample him underfoot. Just wait." The next morning, Susan woke early, driven by her newfound determination. She slipped into the kitchen, her hands moving deftly as she prepared a breakfast feast. Plates piled high with pancakes, crispy bacon, fresh fruit, and perfectly poached eggs lined the table by the time Ethan returned from his morning run. He stopped in the doorway, his brow furrowing as he took in the spread. "What's all this?" he asked, his voice edged with suspicion. Susan turned to him with a bright, almost saccharine smile. "Good morning, hubby. I felt bad about last night, so I thought I'd make it up to you with this breakfast." Ethan's eyes flicked at the table, then back to her. "You've already been punished for last night," he said flatly.
To listen to the full audio series, install the Pocket FM app now.